Welcome once again to Commander by Damon. As I'm sure you've heard, this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. For the past few years, Ultimate Guard has been hard at work finding ways to protect your cards without damaging the planet, and they have discovered it. Boulders, once made entirely of plastic, are now made of 87% renewable resources. They also come in a variety of sizes, including this new Return to Earth 100 card boulder. If you're like me, you have a ton of decks and don't want those boxes filling up an entire suitcase, then this box is the perfect solution. Find out if your local game store carries the new Return to Earth boulders from Ultimate Guard, or click on the link down below to order yourself a set from Amazon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Roxy. Huge thanks to Roxy and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Roxy and her husband are in the middle of a move and don't have all their cards yet, so she asked me to post a video on my favorite deck. Well, I currently have two favorite decks, and the video for one of them was posted last week. I'll post a link in the upper right-hand corner. My other favorite deck is one that took me a long time to tune. In fact, I'm still tuning it, but I'm happy to do a video explaining where it's at right now. The commander? Piru the Volatile. The theme? Life Gain combo. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Piru the Volatile is an 8-mana 7/7 legendary Elder Dragon with flying and lifelink. Like the original Elder Dragons, Piru has an upkeep cost of 1 of each of its colored mana. Additionally, when Piru dies, it deals 7 damage to each non-legendary creature. 7 damage to each creature on the board will wipe out almost every creature in the game. But the fun part that a lot of people tend to skip over is that Piru has lifelink, which means that for each non-legendary creature on the board when Piru dies, we gain 7 life. If we combine that with, say, Veto, Thorn of the Duskrose, or Sanguine Bond, and if there's at least 18 non-legendary creatures on the board when Piru dies, that totals out to 126 damage, or 42 per opponent. The problem is, Piru is 8 mana. Sure, we could just let him die on our upkeep, but that might not happen. What if Cute Stuff has a Swords to Plowshares? Then our whole combo goes up in smoke. Also, we need to ensure that there are a ton of creatures on board, as well as either Veto or Sanguine Bond. So we'll need ways to find our combo, a ton of ramp, ways to protect our combo, and some backup win conditions. In fact, we should probably rely on our handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Forbidden Orchard, Nomad Outpost, Savai Triome, Arid Mesa, Marsh Flats, Bloodstained Mire, Scalding Tarn, Flooded Strand, Verdant Catacombs, Sacred Foundry, Godless Shrine, Blood Crypt, Spectator Seating, Vault of Champions, Luxury Suite, Clifftop Retreat, Isolated Chapel, Dragon Skull Summit, Alpine Meadow, Snowfield Sinkhole, Sulphurous Mire, Sundown Pass, Shattered Sanctum, Haunted Ridge, Bajuka Bog, 3 mountains, 3 plains, and 3 swamps make up the lands for our deck. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Conviction, Talisman of Hierarchy, Talisman of Indulgence, Boros Signet, Orzhov Signet, Rakdos Signet, and Chromatic Lantern make up our mana rocks. Wayfarer's Bauble, and Solemn Simulacrum for land ramp, Dockside Extortionist, and Smothering Tithe for treasure generation, and Ashnod's Altar for additional mana as needed. Big Score, Stinging Study, Imposing Grandeur, Wheel of Misfortune, Disciple of Bolus, Read the Bones, Vampiric Tutor, Demonic Tutor, Jeska's Will, Siphon Mind, Skull Clamp, Krav the Unredeemed, and Outpost Siege help us to dig through our deck and find our combo pieces. Gisa, Glorious Resurrector, Reanimate, Command the Dreadhorde, Unburial Rites, Brought Back, and Underworld Breach let us replay stuff from both our graveyard or our opponent's graveyard. Boros Charm, Fracture, Abrade, Generous Gift, Anguished Unmaking, Rakdos Charm, Teferi's Protection, Bedevil, Vindicate, Chaos Warp, and Terminate make up our interaction package. Ruinous Ultimatum, Damn, and the Meat Hook Massacre help us to reset the board and put our opponents in their place. Ink Shield, Iganjo Uprising, Alliance of Arms, Assemble the Legion, Regna the Redeemer, Blot Out the Sky, and Fourth Eorlings make up our token generators, giving Piru enough targets to win the game. But just in case that's not enough, we've got Anointed Procession for token doubling, as well as Divine Visitation to turn our tokens into 4/4 angels. Veto, Thorn of the Duskrose, and Sanguine Bond are, of course, key cards in our deck strategy, but we're also running Perforos, God of the Forge, and Impact Trebors to help turn our token generators into win conditions. Toralf, God of Fury, also helps with our combo, making sure excess damage is dealt to our opponents. Vizkappa Guildmage serves as a backup to Veto and Sanguine Bond. Finally, Aetherflux Reservoir lets us Death Star our opponents as needed. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 50 mana sources split between 36 lands and 14 pieces of ramp. Right on target. 13 pieces of card advantage, plus 6 more pieces of graveyard recursion. 11 pieces of interaction. 3 board wipes, 4 if we count Blot Out the Sky. 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Rakdos Charm and Bojuka Bog. No sudden I win cards, but lots of combo pieces. Remember, Divine Visitation is a replacement effect, so if it's on board, we probably don't want to cast Iganjo Uprising or Alliance of Arms. Not unless we want to give everyone a Heavenly Host. But other than that, our deck wants to just sit back and seem non-threatening. Ramp, draw some cards, find our combo pieces, and then win out of nowhere. And because we've included so many backups to our main plan to win the game, as well as various other win cons, we're never really out of the game. Do you have a Piru deck? What about a life gain deck? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Damon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Ignis, Rocks, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alex, Daniel, Steve, Kevin, and Alex. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Damon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Damon.